G'day and welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me. Here we have a little bit of X4. In fact, we have a whole lot of X4, and as you can see, I have a pharmaceutical goods factory under some pressure. Now, this is my first big fight with the Vigor Syndicate. And as you can see here, I have a fleet, actually I have more than one, prepared. This is one of the blockading fleets, and the situation report is as follows. The factory station is under threat due to declining relations with the Syndicate. This has led to them attacking the pharmaceutical station, and as now the preemptive blockade under the cover of exercises has become a full-scale invasion to Detooth. Unfortunately, a transiting fleet has been caught out in Syndicate space due to the timing of the decline in relations. Will that fleet escape? How many poor, dedicated corporate soldiers will be lost in the defense of the galaxy and free trade? Well, let's get into it and find out. I hope you enjoy the video. Yeah, the capital ships, they gotta go. And that's what this operation here is. Now, this is the first out of there was a war that followed this, so you know, it's one of those things like there's a lot to see, and unfortunately this really did stretch my computer quite a bit. It was you know, having issues, so I basically had to do a lot of this from the tactical view, and I would please ask for or apologize and ask for forgiveness for not being able to show you so many juicy graphics until later on. And when I do, it is a little bit jumpy until the end. But the tactical view here is solid, and I will be placing myself at the front line, because that's what a good commander does, and also that's how you get the quickest refresh rate on your map. So, the attack has been commenced. I'm sending in a couple of different groups to attack in a couple of different places. I have a large stock of fighters, as you can see, and the fleets that have been blockading are set up with basically carrier groups, and they've been and a lot of destroyer escorts, and they've been holding the line quite well, but the time has come. As you can see, I have had them pinned at the 3 different points there. I had some destroyer class ships being engaged there, and I think it's about time we throw a bit of assistance their way, because if they get their engines popped, they're going to be knocked off one by one. These guys really, they're best at killing these capital ships, these behemoths, getting those large guns at the front on target, and just whittling them away. Now, of course, this war effort is supported by a large industrial base, and that is stationed a little bit away, and I am as well simultaneously at war with the what are they called? Bloody aliens? I mean, not the aliens, the bloody the Xenon, the computers. Oh my god, what are they fucking called? So I've been holding the line there anyway. You can see the Cerberus is taking off from the behemoth to head out. Now, unfortunately, with X, it's one of those games that things don't happen fast until they happen really quickly. And there is a fair bit of waiting for things to get into position. Yeah, you can see one of my behemoths in that group has fallen behind, and there is a very large contingent of fighters on the way. And my fighters are beginning to get their asses into gear. But yeah, you can see there's going to be some casualties. This is the nature of war. Now, these first few brave fighters are heading in to a hell of a fight there. It does seem that I have taken the local space around the gate, or I'm at least fighting for it right now, and I do have local superiority around that gate. The Syndicate has, of course, the Vigor Syndicate has realized this and is sending some fighters back to try to mess that up.
Requesting instructions.
Here go my interceptors in to probably get shot. Of course, someone needs orders.
Requesting instructions.
I'm going to head and put myself in this group of behemoths.
Instructions.
Possibly take over control if I need to, but this should get me right into the action and the quickest refresh rate on what is going on.
Requesting instructions.
So a large group of destroyers has moved in around that gate, assisted by a similarly larger group of fighters and interceptors. And I have managed to achieve control of that space there. The destroyer that's caught up in the swarm does appear to be holding its own for now. It'll be slowly getting its shield worn away. And the rest of my interceptor group has managed to catch up with the Vanguard at Super Cruise. You see I am ordering them to attack the entire group as they see fit. Well, not the entire, but close to. And why it targeted that one off in the top left, I have no idea. Then I want them to go after this second group. So I'm stacking these orders. And then I want them to go after these. Now this stack of orders, of course, isn't going to last long enough to make a difference. However, it is going to provide some sort of fallback if I have to get out of this view here and look at something else and sort something else out. So at least I know the fighters will be queued up to do something. Now my other attack vector from the south. You can see the destroyers are heading straight across the system. And my interceptors and other lighter attack craft are engaging this swarm. There will be some losses there until they achieve local superiority.
Requesting instructions.
It does look like there is a Vigor destroyer in there trying to engage with that destroyer group that's moving out. I do think that destroyer group was the reason that I decided that this was the time to initiate the attack, because they probably would have been at least had some losses, if not. And you can see that there is a heavy exchange going on there and a fairly damaged well, it looked like a fairly damaged destroyer, but it actually may have just been something else, or it may have just been one that blew up, and I missed it. I don't think one blew up there. Now these guys seem to have been separated from the main group they were attached to, and are now outnumbered in the local area. But they're light ships, and they don't cost much. So hopefully they can hold off those forces until reinforcements can arrive, which you can see I'm queuing up now. This destroyer group is going to be able to hold its own in that local area, as long as no other reinforcements are sent to attack it. I want that destroyer group to attack that Vigor destroyer up there. And once I've claimed that space, I can commit those forces down into the battle more in system. Now, checking down in this star system, they seem to be evenly matched down with that fighter group. There's a lot of punishment being dealt to my lovely new facility there. You know, just wanted to just farm some stuff and make some pharmaceutical goods, you know, that's all I wanted to do, bit of economy, but no. You know, you were rude. And so, this had to happen. Or so the justifications go. Anyway, let us continue with the commentary. Destroyer looks like it's losing its shield there. Probably going to end up losing that destroyer, although it has held a lot. You can see there's a number of destroyers coming in to attack it from the Vigor Syndicate. Now that has bought me a lot of time. It has soaked up those forces and kept them down, pinned down. It will be unfortunate to lose that craft, but that might have lost him the battle. I may lose that skirmish, but it should ensure that I win the war. Well, the battle. The war's yet to come.
Get you for that. This should be like swatting a space fly.
I've paused the game so that I can issue some new orders to these guys. Go home. No, I'm going to get them to engage with these two destroyers that are coming down. Sorry, correction. After they've engaged this one. Sure what I can do in that little main cluster there. I think I'm just going to leave it to let it play out a little bit and try to secure dominance in these other areas. And you can see that I told that middle group to bug out. I'm probably going to end up taking heavy losses doing that as well. What these ships are doing right here? Why they're going home? I have no idea. Get back in the fight. Or get out the airlock. Admiral's words. His words, not mine. Anyway. There's some reinforcements you can see just coming in there as well. Another one asking for orders. Probably update my global settings. Tell them to go get ammo. Now this skirmish up here has been going on for quite a while, but the numbers of Syndicate are thinning out. And their destroyer is on its last legs. If I can push home this and they can then sweep down with this force, I will be able to take the day and disarm this horrible group. Now some more anti-fighter corvettes moving in.
Is that the best you can do?
Hopefully swing it in that center battle.
You won't get far shooting
And
like
yep, that Syndicate destroyer has fallen. And now it's just mopping up around here. Which is most good. I want these guys somewhere else. Give them a specific set of targets, because I don't really want them to be bothering with the fighters. They'll do that as they fly around anyway, a little bit, but they need to move around and pick off those destroyers, clear the way so that my swarms can do some work. thinking about sending that group back in and concentrating my forces in what it may be described as a pincer movement. I don't know, but you know, it's probably going to get changed before too long. These, unless I get distracted or, you know, as I need to. Now, down here. How goeth the fight? Not too bad. I think I've taken some losses, but I've also given some. And putting those destroyers up here to add their guns to that of the poor little pharmaceutical goods factory seems to have at least whittled a few of these rather annoying fighters down. But there are a lot of them, so I just need to sort of hold this until I can get up there. In fact, I correct myself, that was probably why I needed to get my ass into gear and make this, turn the blockade into a raid, because of my investment. You may say, well, no wonder they went to war with you if you were blockading them. But it wasn't quite like that. Like, I was just ready. I was just hanging out, you know, next to the border. Nothing suspicious here. We're just doing exercises. Where have we heard that before? So I'm hoping that this group will make short work here and get its ass up there, but some of my corvettes are pretty damaged, as well as some of the fighters. And back in the north, the battle in the center is vicious. Many fighters have gone pop. But it still rages on, and that's kind of what I need it to do. As I will be throwing forces into that, and hopefully I can throw enough that we don't have to worry about the rate of attrition versus the rate of additional forces arriving. I'm moving myself over to this fight. Let me out of the elevator. You'll see a lot of fighters popping up and dying. Now we can have a look at some of the action. There's the wing of attack craft stream south to assist in the center. Hopefully make a big enough difference.
Not good. You won't get far shooting like that. Got my eye on you. They weren't silent.
It's a good thing I've got a shipyard, because I am losing ships fast. Or as I should say, fast. Whoa, excuse the slowness of the computer there. And as the two groups merge, the combat is hot and heavy. Although this will definitely begin to swing this fight. If my forces can apply a little bit of focus fire and just start pick, and quickly whittle their forces down, we should be good. Also take note that a large number of the Red Syndicate craft there are laser towers, so unable to move. 2 destroyers have just arrived to the
Like
fight.
some more?
Another 2 coming in, 3 coming in
Instructions.
from the corner there.
I have more. I'm not frightened of you.
My ship is being scanned.
This is bad. You have no hope of victory.
I don't know if you noticed down the bottom there, but someone had time to scan the ship, eh?
Try something else. You might fly better.
Right. Pause and time to check the situation down here. So if you're not too familiar with X, those little sort of semi-half circle things, they're life pods going home. So the destroyers are holding the fort along with the station there. Still need to clear that out and get rid of the rest of those fighters. But I am very much engaged over here, as you can see, still. Now, I want to bring those destroyers in. I don't know what they're doing. So these 3 destroyers that I just selected there, they're not even on the screen at the moment. They're off on another in the star system, and now are ready to be brought into the fight. It must have been that an order chain or things have gotten mixed up with the orders there. So I'm going to have to do a bit of shenanigans here and rejiggerify these orders around, because I don't want my craft to be flying out of the fight like that. So I'm going to remove all of the orders from that entire strike group. 2. And I am going to reorder them to re-engage here in the center. Just trying to figure out what's going on in there. And unpause. Get to work. There's a lot of shooting to be done.
That's fine. I can take one of it. Yes, you can.
Teleported myself. Excuse me. Teleported myself to that behemoth.
I think you might regret that. Want some
You see the vast majority of the Syndicate forces are pulling away after another group which has left the battle, although I haven't realized that quite yet.
Not that easily. Would you like some more?
Being a little more interested in taking that out.
Listening instructions.
You see there, the number of my fighters are trying to leave the battle to go back for repairs or whatnot, but this is just not the time for that. So more orders that need to be redone. And so whilst I'm setting up these orders, you might wonder how long I am into this particular save. Well, a fair way. And in fact, I've found myself at a point where I definitely need the war with these has become expensive. You might notice I have 566 million credits up there in the corner. That number was significantly bigger, and they have worn me down just a little bit, and this is why I need this space. Need it so I can support my efforts to defend the galaxy. There's nothing imperial about it at all. You know? Anyway, yes. So the action is back underway. And you can see I've got a number of destroyers just targeting that one, and the plan is for them to run through those there whilst the smaller ships engage with the Syndicate's smaller ships, and it does look like I'm managing to draw them away. Some of my Cerberus is there. One Cerberus was taking extremely heavy fire. It's probably not long for this world. Luckily it's able to we'll pretend it's respawned. And I'm going to bring these destroyers back over into the fray. They seem to be taking their time getting here, and that's probably because they're engaged with these guys over here. Also, do want them back over in the main fight, take out those laser towers and any other heavy ships that are floating around like this one. I do need them to be able to get there at super cruise, not at their normal combat speed. Otherwise they will not arrive until the battle is done. And it does look like there are a lot of red compared to the green in that little cluster. And this group here needs to turn around and get back in the fight. So I have to run through and select those that are returning and not heavily damaged, as those two Cerberus you can see there. And get them back in the action. I probably should send these guys back to, well, repair. So, let's start it all again and see how it all plays out. Yeah, until the next batch of orders needs to be given.
Requesting instructions.
And you can see another group of fighters has decided to break from the fight and will need to be reassigned a target again. I'm sure that they haven't actually blown through all of their original targets. It seems unlikely. It's hard to tell there. But it is possible, and probably the reason. So reassign them I will. Get them back into the fight. Whilst I'm at it, I think I'll go through and I'll send some of these guys home to repair. If they're going to make it. Oof. Big if for this one. Good luck, buddy. Yeah. You know. Syndicate escape pods trying to make their way home. Good, that means a couple less of their ships around. You see this wing here is moving down. I want to see what they're doing. Okay, it's very difficult to tell what they're doing. Let's try just selecting and they are going to get reassigned to attack those guys that are nearest to them, and hopefully that will mean they won't get trumped before they go on to attack the group at large.
You're making a big mistake.
So this destroyer engagement is still ongoing. Not sure what's taken them so long, to be honest. Really just want to see these ships down. So I'm going to assign some individual orders to them. Now, the southern group has mostly finished its work, the fighter swarm at least. It's time to move them up. Finish off this swarm around my precious, precious platforms. If you're wondering why I haven't done that right away, it's because they still need to get rid of that laser tower that was down there. Another Syndicate destroyer about to eat some space dust. It does appear there's a defense drone found itself way out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I'm definitely starting to get the upper hand here. Now you can see there is a destroyer, one of my destroyers, down over on the right hand side of the screen, that is taking a beating. Probably in exchange with the Syndicate destroyer that is moving through. You see the currently selected destroyer I have is targeting it. Plane. Just maybe I'll get it back to a carrier to repair it. That fighter, very. Now, it does look like I haven't caught the action, but those destroyers have finally decided that they wanted to finish off the guys that were slowing them down, and they've only got one left. So I'll assign that. Whilst we watch it, whilst I lay in a few more orders for them. Really need to crack this central nut here. I'm going to make sure that I can get all the available ships, get themselves in here. Now I'd like to send this ship back to get repaired, but I'm not sure it's going to be able to make it out. So I'll just move on. A little bit of housekeeping.
We found something out here.
That poor Cerberus down the bottom of the screen doesn't have much health left. I need to reassign some orders here. I'm trying to find which fighters I am working with. And order some replacements while I'm at it. Yeah, I reckon 50 of those will do. Gonna need them. As I may well have alluded to before, this is not the final attack or confrontation I have with the Vigor Syndicate, and there are more of them. And if you would like to see them, please comment down below, and I will edit those up with commentary too.
You won't be able to hold out to get stuff.
Now I'm going to shift myself into this cluster here. The fight is very, very hot and heavy in here.
Pretty ineffectual.
We found something out here.
I have
More Syndicate escape pods trying to return home. I don't want these craft to be engaging around that wharf. They will be completely obliterated if they are. So it's probably about time I made some changes to my situation here to avoid that, because all my craft are going to get dragged down there if I'm not careful. Okay, well, looks like they haven't done anything about that. And they have moved on up. So I must have hit that order and not caught it before. I ordered them up, and they have cleared or are clearing the area around the pharmaceutical installation.
Damage is getting...
A wing of fighters is breaking south. This is a problem. I'm going to have to bring them back soon, or they are going to get wiped out by that wharf's defenses. Now, make sure that they re-engage with the fighters, not with any of those. The fighters that are leaving the base there. You can see the wharf has launched actually they are drones. It has launched its defense drones, and so I have included a couple of those in my targets. But what's going to happen here is that they will be drawn away, and I want them to be drawn away, because if I can get those defense drones away and have them involved in a fighter on drone fight, then I am definitely gonna win. It will denude that wharf of its drone fleet. So, excellent. Let's do that. And while I'm at it, I might as well claim what's lying around. Yeah. Fair spoils of war, that. You might have caught just off to the side there that Syndicate drone is being worn down. You might also see right in the center of the fight here, or just off to the right of it, that I just lost a destroyer. One behemoth. Several hundred crew have given their lives for the defense of the galaxy. Yeah, we'll go with that one. It's not my corporate gains at all. What are you talking about? Quiet, you. I do good Samaritan work with my ships. This was the betterment of mankind, and other alien races included.
Awaiting orders.
Right. So my ships have re-engaged, and you can see those drones are coming up from the bottom. Another one of my destroyers off to the right of screen has received heavy damage. However, it looks like we just cleared the local area around it, so it should be able to recover its shield. If it's out of range of the laser towers. Don't know what's going on with the fighter off to the top of the screen that's now come down. That must be some sort of verticality thing that's not being displayed properly in the map. You can see it's down the bottom now. It's moving around like a crazy thing.
Incoming missile.
That must be really close to the camera position. Oh, beautiful. I managed to claim that fighter, although I haven't done anything with it. And I better get it to go and do something soon. Just need to do a little bit of housekeeping, make sure the attack is underway, and ships that can escape to get some repairs do. I'm not hopeful for that behemoth. That order is going to send it right through the fight. But I'm in a rush right now, as you can probably tell. And need to make sure that I have the overview cared for, and some details they're going to get missed. Hopefully, as little as possible.
Incoming missile.
Now you see me just adjusting the combat settings of that ship. That's probably because I messed with it before for some obscure reason. I can't remember right now. Sorry. It might be something to do with not wanting to attack or taking ships and disabling the main weapons. Now that drone fleet is getting towards the main fight, and oops, excuse my camera work. You can see that the destroyers that were engaged over to the right of screen, off screen, are now joining. And this should mean that I am able to wipe out those Syndicate destroyers, and then it's just a matter of cleanup. Now you will notice there are at least 5 of them still around. This has been quite a fight, and if I don't take them out, I'm not going to be able to withdraw very well, not without heavy losses. And so committed I am.
Incoming missile.
And as the fight wears on, so do too the number of my forces diminish. I hope that made sense. It was a bit Yoda-like, wasn't it? Sorry. But they are. You can see there's a destroyer-on-destroyer duel, and 2 of my destroyers are low in health, although it does seem like they might have the advantage upon the Syndicate scum in their bucket of bolts. Oh no, it doesn't. Actually, they're getting their asses kicked, and they're, bugger. I have been outgunned. Those behemoths, they're not great in anything but like a straight-on fight. You might say this is a straight-on fight, but I mean literally a straight-on fight where they are pointing at the enemy and they can let their big guns rip. Otherwise, they're just got fighter-grade sort of weaponry. It's their turrets, and it's not incredibly effective against something that's packing a more anti-capital ship turret setup. Now, there's a few ships that need to be reassigned there with their orders, so a little bit of that, a little bit of tactical housekeeping. Housekeeping. Go away, we're busy. Housekeeping. I come in now? No. Yes, I come in now. Comment down below or hit that like button if you know where that is from. Now, it might look like the Syndicate have the advantage, but do not forget that the vast majority of those little fighters are just defense drones. So the name of the game is still getting my capital ships to hopefully kill the capital ships of the Syndicate. A bit better than they were, perhaps. and to make sure my fighters are going to get in there and waste all these little interceptors and defense drone the Syndicate has sent at me.
We found something out here.
And you can see right in the center of that cluster that a group of my fighters are taking on individual Syndicate targets and wearing them down until they're gone. I do have the advantage of firepower now. I have upwards of 8 destroyers in the local area and a large number of interceptors and fighters, as well as a significant number of Minotaurs, Nemesis, and Cerberus, just to round off the pack. I'm going to claim some of these spoils of war. I do actually end up with a significant number of ships trickling on back to my carrier groups to, get repaired and be sent back at the Syndicate. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. Destroyer right in the center of the cluster there. It's got very low health, but it's putting up a hell of a fight. I think she's about to go down though. I'm trying to figure out what exactly I'm going to do to solve the situation, because I don't really want to trickle in my reinforcements to that particular little fight. Otherwise, I'm just going to end up with some significantly damaged ships. No idea what these guys are doing and why they're not getting their ass in gear. They need to super cruise themselves over there, run into that Barbarossa, and drop the pain. These 6 large plasma cannons, or whatever they are, I think they're plasma cannons, and that would just rip it to shreds in short order. Sometimes I lament the AI of this game. So you can see there that I am reassigning those few ships targets to get them back into the middle of the fray. I want all those Corvette class ships right in there because they've got multiple turrets, and whilst they're chasing down one target, their guns will be working on others, and that's going to really lend the edge to in the firepower tug of war that's going on here. Now you can see also, oh my god, finally they've gotten there. Hello, they never get there. The destroyers are making their way down to crump on the delinquent Barbarossa that has so far taken out 2 behemoths. And down at the bottom there, slightly to the left, you can see ships coming back up, re-engaging targets to the north of them and dragging more, probably the remainder of the defense drones from the wharf down below, off screen. Now, let's have a look at the situation down south. Looks like everyone's done with the fighting and they're going home. Okay. Rightio. And you see that the Vigor Syndicate still has a decent number of fighters in that that middle system between the 2 that I'm attacking. And it would appear that my destroyers have wandered off into a fight with a station, which won't go very well for them because they're not smart. Obviously, I'm going to send down my wing in system of attack craft, and I'm going to lend some assistance. I really don't want my ships around that space fuel factory again. It's just going to rip them to shreds. Cheeky little repair while I'm at it. If you survive the fight, you get to go home and repair. I'm assessing the situation and wondering what I should do exactly with these craft. I think for now I'm going to leave them in place and focus my attentions upon the north. Or the fight in the Northern Star System. Tend to a little bit of housekeeping and try to keep the majority of my forces in action. I might be able to build ships, but I cannot build them quick enough to replace them in this kind of a fight. So I must do a little bit of combat triage. Oh, there goes an escape pod with one of my crew. That's gonna go well for you when you get to that station. I mean, he could have gone for one of the abandoned craft over to the, well, there's a few if you look at the little blue craft around. Now, I want to make sure that my craft are going to be attacking all of the enemy craft that they're currently engaged with, so I'm just adding the extra attack order in there. A couple of the Cerberuses have managed to somehow get themselves away from the group. And that's not what I want. That's not where I want them. I want them to re-engage. I just claimed one of the enemy ships and now I'm sending it back into combat against them. There's a lot going on, but from a quick appraisal, I have some damaged Cerberuses. Most of my fighters are doing pretty well, and the prevailing damage is on enemy craft. Although you can see that a few of mine are close to being lost. Indeed, a fighter is about to go there, and a Nemesis Sentinel is on a suicidal run. Right into that. Oh. And that's triggered some sort of defensive AI. A lot of those drones have buggered off home. That's going to drag a number of my fighters down towards the wharf. I'll have to make sure I keep an eye on that. I should note that I feel like I have become largely fixated with the fights in the north, and I am neglecting the fight in the south somewhat. Hopefully that is going well. We will have to check on in on it soon. Now, after a quick save, given that I think the progress has gone reasonably well so far, I'm going to try to save this poor Minotaur's life and probably fail. By the time I get the order in, it's going to be dead. And it's gone. No, it's still there. Just see at the top of the screen. Be able to go off camera. No, yeah, bye-bye. And we have another ship heading down towards that wharf again. Now, if you look closely, you may notice
Found
that
something out here.
most of the Syndicate's destroyers are in fact gone. And the capital ship brawl has gone my way. See a grand total of 2. There were many, many more, so this is a good thing. More Syndicate life pods going back.
We found something out here.
The Cerberuses are taking, well, these larger corvettes are taking a lot of the fire from the interceptors and other Syndicate craft. And there is the fight carrying on above us. The Syndicate are using the laser weapons there, and mine are the pulse weapons. And as you can see, I'm sending him back in for a specific target, and then to re-engage with the group at large. Same here, I want these larger ships back in the fray. I need them lending their firepower to the fighters so that we can clear these skies, clear this space. Definitely in the advantage in the destroyer brawl with a is that a 5-2 going on there? Take them all down, take them down quick. But the Corvette losses are certainly mounting up. You can see there's a number of heavily damaged Corvettes. And there goes another one. Here's a destroyer that needs to go and find some more targets. And there goes the civilian courier craft right through the middle of the fight.
You're gonna die. Yeah.
Looks like one of my fighters has wandered into that capital ship fight and is not long for this world. Now, wing of my fighters are heading somewhere. Where are you going, guys? Back to the fight, please. They must be chasing down something that they shouldn't be doing. You know, turn around, ruin that guy's day, and re-engage. Now this battle has worn on for quite some time, and I'm very happy with how my forces have held up. A lot of fire has been exchanged, a lot of ships have been destroyed. And those rounds are going to miss, aren't they? Yeah. But that's what I was talking about before, about those big plasmas. You need those big plasmas on target, otherwise, yeah, you're not going to do anything against it. A ship that big. This doesn't look great. I'd hazard to say that a lot of that wreckage belongs to the wing of behemoths that I sent down here. Well, didn't send down here, they wandered down here. To their doom, it would seem. Yeah, there's only five in Gamma Group left for that, for Fleet 176. Hopefully these last few attack craft can clear this area and escape. It would appear that even though the objectives were met and the station was defended, that yeah, the tactical situation at large has at least somewhat fallen out of favor for us. It's still savable, and that is what I'm going to try to proceed to do here. Now back to the situation in the north. A couple of ships have gotten themselves well away from the main pack, and they need to be ordered to go back in. Seems like you have to do this fairly often in X, unfortunately.
I was asked to drop my car.
A quick appraisal of the situation shows that we are winning the local capital ship fight fairly decisively at this point, with another Barbarossa about to go down for the Syndicate.
Damage is getting serious.
I wouldn't be surprised if at this point the vast majority of the Vigor Syndicate's remaining interceptor and fighter craft are in fact mostly made up of defense drones and very light interceptors. Now, I did notice this behemoth group was moving away from the fight, and that is the wrong direction, of course. Now that they have been vectored back into the conflagration, the fun can continue once I have made a few more changes to orders and re-engaged a few more ships. Another behemoth has moved into position, and through the overlay you can see the one I am riding firing at that target, and it is soon to go down.
Explosion imminent.
Another poor Cerberus straggling has found itself in a sticky situation and will not be long for this world. If they just keep themselves within the battle group, they would survive a little bit longer.
No, please, no,
Activating travel drive.
It does appear that the Syndicate is down to one capital class destroyer. And quickly mop that up. The number of abandoned craft is climbing, and pretty soon I am going to be going on a bit of a claiming spree. It isn't going to recoup all the numbers that I have lost, but it certainly is going to help, and it's always satisfying to send one of the enemy's craft back at them. That behemoth is going to have to re-vector itself back into the fray. And then probably can get to work on some of the fighters, because it looks like that is going to clean up the final Syndicate capital threat. They can build more, but that will take time. Time which they may or may not have. I'd go with option B. Things haven't gone extremely well, and it looks like my ships have made some form of a withdrawal. Not particularly ideal, although perhaps at this stage it may be best to attempt some sort of regroup. I didn't realize at that stage that I was actually only ordering that to one ship. My bad, a bit of a mess up with the UI. Now time to claim a few of these abandoned craft. Hopefully not get zapped by the laser tower. As you could see, there was a destroyer, a Syndicate destroyer that just disappeared out of sensor range. I will have to keep an eye on that and make sure it doesn't try to breach the blockade. However, it probably will be taken down by the carrier group that's remaining on the other side, including now the vast majority of the fighters that should have been engaging in this star system. And the fight in the north has certainly progressed somewhat. The vast majority of the Vigor Syndicate's defenders seem to have been sundered. Yeah, we'll go with that. And I do seem to be getting local space superiority. time to claim a few of the spoils of war. And as this operation turns into, from its incipient phase to mop-up, it may well be that you ask, what was the goal? Well, the goal was to defend the station, but also to try to partition the attrition, to contain the losses to within this battle. I have a significant force. I have them circled, but as you can see, they are very strong. Now, if I was to just sort of have gone in like this with my main attack, I would have been left with a significant disadvantage in prosecuting that attack to its end. But by attacking them like this and trying to mitigate my losses and withdrawing, I am going to be getting more experienced crew, more experienced ships to come back and hit them later on when they have a less of an ability to defend themselves. And this is exactly what I want, because then I will be able to drive home my attack and not receive too many losses. Still a significant number of defense drones around that wharf, more than one Nemesis can handle, and he needs to get himself back up to the fleet before he requires significant backup. Seems those defense drones are venturing towards the cloud and combat area. I need to make sure that these guys don't get caught out by the destroyer that's coming into the combat area from the south. Gonna make them fly to the north. And I may have screwed up that again, but that's okay. We can live with that. Need to clear up the last of those, and then we can deal with the defense drones and that incoming destroyer. Now there I am, setting up laser towers and mining out that area. These are the ships that I have captured. Indeed, 3 of them are in combat, but all of them are going to go now and escape from the system and hopefully get repaired to fight another day.
That wasn't much good, was it?
There we go. Well done to the pilots, getting those out of there and not getting blown up. Now the situation down in the south. I need this Minotaur to GTFO. Regroup in the other side of that gate, repair what I can, hold that line, and push again. Although that push again part, that's coming later. Not in this video, I mean, in another video. And back in the north, the vast majority of those Syndicate combat ships have been destroyed. Now, there's a bit of a challenge coming from the quite large, but not as significant as before, cluster of defense drones heading up from that wharf. Wharf? Fire the phasers. I mean, the Syndicate wharf, sorry. Now, of course, none of these ships have been tasked with attacking that swarm of defense drones, and I'm going to have to do something. Either they attack or they withdraw. My hand has been forced. I must attack. And so I will. However, as you can see, I'm still sending my destroyer fleets back. They are probably not going to be much assistance in this upcoming fight, and they are prizes to lose. So better for me to have them in safety and repairing now that I have basically cleared the need for them. Use my lighter attack craft to try to clear up this drone swarm. Of course, if they're going to go home like that, well, nice. It looks like it's time to call the engagement over and retreat. The battle for today is done. But the war continues. For it has only just begun.
Travel drive.
Get off my radar. You don't bother me.
Of course, I had to take manual control of this craft to get it out of here. But whilst I'm doing that, I might as well wrap up because we are basically done. I'm just going to fly this thing home. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please like and subscribe. I know this was a very long video, but I thought this might be an interesting way to do this, sort of give commentary as it goes along. And yes, I have sat here in real time and watched this and given you my commentary whilst I've been drinking a few beers. It's not been too bad. At least distracting me from all the shit going on in life at the moment. Please do comment down below if you want to see the rest of this confrontation with the Vigor Syndicate. They're not an insignificant foe. They're not the Xenon, but they definitely have a different style of fighting, and one that creates a need for large numbers of strike craft. Kind of interesting, where the Xenon, you really want to take in the heavy capital ships and just sort of beat them down there. But with these guys, it's that small swarm fighter stuff, which is kind of cool. Anyway, I'll catch you next time. Be well. Peace on out.